Welcome back to my journey to freedom, the space where healing meets truth, faith meets transformation, and every step forward is a step toward freedom. I'm Miss Shavely, and if you're ready to break unhealthy cycles, heal emotional wounds, strengthen your relationship with God, and become the person you were created to be, you're in the right place. So grab your journal, open your heart, and let's continue this journey to freedom together. Now, let's get into today's message. Have you ever looked at your life and wondered, why do I keep ending up in the same situation? Why do I keep attracting the same type of relationships? Why do I react the same way even when I know it's hurting me? Why do I keep repeating patterns I promised myself I would break? Sometimes the things we call bad luck, generational curses, or just the way I am are actually cycles that God is calling us to confront, heal, and surrender. Because what remains unhealed often continues to repeat. And today we're talking about breaking karmic cycles and spiritual strongholds, the hidden patterns, wounds, and beliefs that keep us stuck from walking fully in freedom, in the freedom God has for us. What are karmic cycles and spiritual strongholds? When we talk about karmic cycles, we're talking about repeated patterns in our lives. Patterns that seem to follow us. Patterns that show up in our relationships, our emotions, our choices, our finances, our self-worth, and even the way we see ourselves. From a spiritual perspective, many people believe karma represents the energy and consequences connected to our actions and lessons we are meant to learn. From a faith perspective, we can look at these patterns as areas where God is inviting us into healing, transformation, and freedom. The Bible tells us in Romans 12:2, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Notice this scripture talks about patterns because God understands something powerful. Transformation begins when our thinking changes. A spiritual stronghold is anything that has gained power over our thoughts, emotions, behaviors, or identity. It can be fear, it can be shame, it can be unforgiveness, it can be people pleasing, it can be believing that you are not worthy, it can be carrying wounds from your past that continue controlling your present. A stronghold is anything that keeps you from experiencing the freedom God desires for you. So, the first step is recognizing the cycle. You cannot heal what you refuse to acknowledge. Many of us were taught to survive, but not taught how to heal. We learn how to push through pain. We learn how to hide our emotions. We learn how to be strong for everyone else. We learn how to forgive others, but never forgive ourselves. We learn how to ignore our own needs because we were afraid of disappointing people. But survival patterns are not the same thing as freedom. Sometimes the very thing that's helped us survive a season are the things keeping us stuck in the next one. So I want you to reflect. What pattern keeps showing up in my life? Is it choosing relationships that recreate old wounds? Is it abandoning yourself to keep others happy? Is it constantly needing validation? Is it struggling to trust? Is it holding on to anger, resentment, or unforgiveness? Is it speaking negatively about yourself? Healing begins when we become honest with ourselves, not from a place of shame, but from a place of love. So, the first cycle 1, generational patterns. Some cycles are not just personal, they are learned, they are passed down. They are behaviors we witnessed, normalized, and carried into adulthood. Maybe you grew up around people who avoided emotions. Maybe love was conditional. Maybe conflict was handled through silence, anger, manipulation, or avoidance. Maybe you learned that your value came from what you could do for others. And without realizing it, you carry those beliefs into your own life. But here is the truth. You can honor where you came from without repeating what hurt you. You can love your family and still choose healing. You can acknowledge your past without allowing your past to control your future. God does not call us to continue cycles that destroy our peace. He calls us into restoration. Cycle 2, the cycle of self-abandonment. One of the deepest cycles many people struggle with is abandoning themselves. This happens when we disconnect from our own needs, feelings, boundaries, and identity. You know you're in a cycle of self abandonment when you constantly say yes when your heart says no. You feel guilty for setting boundaries. You prioritize everyone else's emotions while ignoring your own. You feel responsible for fixing everyone. You shrink yourself so others can be comfortable. You silence yourself to avoid conflict. But healing requires you to come back home to yourself. God created you with a voice. God created you with purpose. God created you with value. You were never meant to disappear just to make other people comfortable. Cycle number 3, the stronghold of fear. Fear is one of the strongest things that keeps people trapped. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of starting over, fear of being misunderstood, fear of letting people down. Fear can convince you to stay in places God is calling you out of. Fear can make you question your worth. Fear can make you settle for less than what you deserve. But 2 Timothy 1, verse 7 reminds us, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Fear is not your identity. Fear is something you can surrender. How do we begin breaking these cycles? 1. Bring the pattern into the light. Healing requires honesty. Ask yourself, what am I repeating? What pain am I carrying? What belief about myself do I need to release? The things we hide often hold the most power over us. But when we bring them into the light, healing can begin. 2. Renew your mind. Your thoughts create your internal world. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself. I'm not enough. I'll never change. This is just who I am. I don't deserve better. Those are not truths. Those are beliefs created through experiences. And beliefs can be healed. Replace them with God's truth. I am loved. I am worthy. I am chosen. I am being transformed. I am not my past. Step 3, release what you were never meant to carry. Some of us are carrying guilt that belongs in the past, pain that belongs with God, responsibilities that were never ours, people's opinions, people's expectations, old identities, old versions of ourselves. Sometimes freedom comes when we finally say, God, I surrender what I cannot control, heal what I cannot fix, restore what has been broken inside of me. Okay, and number 4, choose new patterns. Breaking cycles is not just about what you stop doing. It's about what you start doing. Start choosing boundaries. Start choosing peace. Start choosing healthier relationships. Start choosing self-respect. Start choosing forgiveness. Start choosing alignment with who God created you to be. Healing is not one big moment. Healing is a daily decision. I want you to sit with these questions. What cycle am I ready to break? What wound may be influencing my choices? What version of myself am I being called to release? What does freedom look like for me in this season? Take these questions into prayer. Take them into journaling. Allow God to reveal what needs healing. Because sometimes the thing we are praying for requires us to release the thing we have been holding on to. Breaking cycles is not easy. Healing requires courage. It requires you to look at places you may have avoided. It requires you to forgive yourself. It requires you to stop running from the parts of yourself that need love. But the beautiful thing about healing is this: you are not doing this alone. God is not asking you to heal yourself without Him. He is walking with you. He is restoring you. He is transforming you. The cycle can end with you. The pattern can change with you. The healing can begin. with you. Remember, healing isn't about pretending you've never been broken. It's about refusing to stay broken. You are not your trauma. You are not your mistakes. You are not your survival pattern. You are someone worthy of healing, growth, peace, and purpose. If you're ready to go deeper, my ebook Journey to Free was created to help you uncover the wounds, beliefs, and patterns that have kept you stuck while guiding you through the process of healing and reclaiming your freedom. Your healing journey doesn't have to stop here. Take the next step because freedom isn't found by waiting. It's found by choosing healing one day, one decision, and one surrendered heart at a time. Until next time, keep choosing growth, keep choosing grace, and keep choosing freedom. I'll see you in the next video.